good afternoon, students. Welcome to our English class today.
Can I start with grammar, ma'am?
Yeah, and what I want to wish all of y'all a very happy English day. Today is both the 23rd April is celebrated as English Day because it is students, all of you all mute yourself, otherwise you won't be able to hear me.
Okay, madam.
All of you all mute yourselves, and there is a lot of noise in the background in somebody's house. Please mute your audio so that you can hear me clearly. Okay, so today 23rd April is celebrated as World English Day for a very important reason, that is, it is Shakespeare's birthday, Shakespeare's death day. We don't know because both comes in April, so we have zeroed in on 23rd April. And had we been in college like last year, we would have seen movies of Shakespeare, we would have had a Shakespeare quiz. This year we were planning to have an exhibition also and invite students from other college and have a Shakespeare week. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it, but maybe when college reopens, we will have our Shakespeare day. Today, so a very happy English Day to all of you all. Remember, it is April 23rd, and today we finished Unit 1 yesterday. You all can go through Unit 1, and in case you have any doubt, you can always come back to us. We are moving on to Unit 2, which is in your textbook, and we are starting with Banaras by Aldous Huxley. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you a very brief introduction to Aldous Huxley, who is a British writer, and I'm also going to give a very brief summing up of the essay Banaras. After that, we will see a 7-minute video of Banaras, a documentary, a short documentary. So you can see different perspectives. Now you see Aldous Huxley talking about Banaras from a very British perspective, and you will see how in the documentary, which is made from another perspective, an Indian perspective, Banaras for us is a holy place for us Hindus. Yes or no? Okay? And for a Britisher, he cannot just comprehend the crowd, the superstition, the pujas, and what is happening in the Ghats. So you see various perspectives. Anyway, let me just quickly take you through it. And what is important is we live in a global world, and we must accept different perspectives. Everybody can have a different perspective, and that is critical thinking. You have your perspective, but also adapt to other people's perspective. Now let me quickly give you a brief introduction to Aldous Huxley. He was born 1894 and died in 1963. He was a British writer, novelist and philosopher. He is best known for some of his novels like The Brave New World, which is very famous, Point and Counterpoint, Eyeless in Gaza, and the Ape and Essence. There are several non-fiction books also which he wrote, which includes books like a prose selection called The Doors of Perception. And for his essays, he has written essays on diverse subjects. He has also produced poetry, drama, film, screenplays, and works of criticism. Huxley was considered one of the greatest minds of the 20th century. He was a very powerful 20th century writer, and he was nominated for the Nobel Prize for Literature 7 times. So he was a great mind, a very influential writer, thinker of the 20th century. Now, coming to his essay Banaras, you must remember he's a Britisher writing from his perspective, which may not be our perspective of Banaras. But then, like I told you, we have to be critical thinkers. We have to take in all kinds of perspectives, and then go with what suits us. We cannot denounce this is wrong and that is right. Okay, so let me give a quick recap of the essay Banaras. In the essay Banaras, Huxley describes what he observes at the Ghats of Banaras on the solar eclipse day. For us Indians, lunar eclipse, solar eclipse are very important days, and we do offer a lot. And Banaras is supposed to be very beautiful, as everybody does aartis on the ghats of the Ganges, and it's a spectacular sight. But for a foreigner seeing this, what is his perspective? He uses this as a launch pad for his reflection on mankind's irrationality. He sees it as irrationality, but for us Indians, it's a very, very rational thing. Okay? His conclusion is that animals, though lacking in intelligence, often behave in more sensible ways than man, who has been endowed with reason. Now, for us, when we worship at the ghats in Banaras, it is a rational thing. It is with reason that we do it. But for a Britisher who is observing it, it may look irrational, it may look unreasonable. Do you see the different perspectives? Okay? And everybody can have their perspective, their viewpoint. Okay? And we must respect everybody's viewpoint. Huxley remarks on the irony that it is humankind's capacity of thought and imagination that has led to the belief in superstition. So he sees this whole what you call aarti at the ghats, the worship at the ghats, as superstition. But it is not superstition in the Hindu belief. It is something that they strongly believe, and it is part of our religion. So for him it looks like superstition, for us it is reason and rationality. He concludes the essay by advising Indians of all religious persuasions, that is, whether it is Hindus, Christians, Muslims, whatever your denomination is, to assemble to save India rather than assembling and wasting their energies over superstition. That's a very harsh comment, but you must remember, he is looking at it from a Britisher's viewpoint. He is saying, instead of gathering at the ghats and worshipping and spending your time in superstition, why don't you all congregate and save the country? Despite his derisive tone, derisive is derogatory, tone, Huxley's fascination for the place and the rituals is apparent. Okay, so he sees this it is very dramatic. I think all of you all must have seen the aartis that happen on the Ganges in Banaras for, during the puja time. And if it's the eclipse, it's really very dramatic, crowded, beautiful, colorful. So he is fascinated by it, but then the rational man in him, the reasonable Englishman, he is not able to take in, he sees it as superstition. But for us Indians who believe in Hinduism, it is not superstition, it is a way of life. Okay, so this was Huxley, and this was the prose piece, a quick recap of the prose piece, Banaras. Now what we will do is, we will watch a 7-minute video on Banaras, and you will see what fascinated, a visual image of what fascinated Huxley.